Hey all, welcome to Learn QA and Allah channel. First of all, thanks for being here. In this lesson 7, we will try to explain one important situation, that is consumption and expenditure, that we see in our day-to-day life more frequently. As you could see, one of the questions is displayed on the screen. You can see it. That is a kind of question that we are going to discuss today in this video. And friends, totally we did 6 videos as of now. This is the 7th video on percentage. Lesson 1 we dedicated for introduction, all basic terms and all. And lesson 2 for fraction equivalence to percentages and how simply you can work out some tough situations in simplifications by using that lesson. And lesson 3 we discussed all basic and smart questions, very easiest methods we discussed. Lesson 4 for successive percentage changes. We did 4 to 5 ways of solving question by using percentage change model. And lesson 5 we dedicated for geometrical shapes, and lesson 6 for quotes model, right? Now this is lesson 7. Let us start. Okay friends, let's read the question first. If the price of onions is increases by 25%, then by what percent a householder has to decrease her consumption in order to maintain the same expenditure? So friends, when I take a normal family, we'll have prices and expenditures and consumptions, right? So when I multiply the price with the number of quantity, you'll get expenditure. No, what I mean to say, right? Okay, let us say I am purchasing some onions, guys. 1 kg I can purchase for 20 rupees, let us say. If I purchase for 4 kgs, what is the total amount that we spend? 80 rupees, right? So when I multiply price with the quantity, you get expenditure. So we can say that price into quantity is proportional to expenditure. What I mean by here, when I increases the price, the expenditure will increase if quantity remains same. Similarly, if I increase the quantity, price, expenditure will increase if price is constant. Vice versa situation. Nothing to worry about all these situations. So let us go for the question now. Now, if the price of onions increases by 25%, then by what percent a householder has to decrease their consumption in order to maintain the same expenditure? So here the situation is a householder don't want to spend extra expenditure. Maybe they are not able to spend extra expenditure now, but they can decrease the consumption. How much percent they have to decrease the consumption is the question. I'll tell you 4 or 5 methods. Let us see. So let us say we have this relation, right? What is that relation? Price into quantity is expenditure. One simple method, guys. So this is initial price. This is initial quantity. Say Q1 is initial quantity. Expenditure is E. But now the price of onions increases by 25%. So this price is increases by 25%, right? So what is the new price then? 125%. So 125% means 1.25 times of P. So 1.25 times of initial price. So this is a new price, right? But quantity we don't know, but expenditure remains the same. Expenditure is E only. Can I substitute this expenditure as a P into Q1? So 1.25P into Q2 equal to, what is this expenditure, friends? This is P into Q1. So this is a P into Q1. So what is Q1 to Q2 ratio? I mean quantity 1 to quantity 2. So PP cancel. Now Q2 come to denominator. This is 1.25. Denominator nothing is there, 1. So this is 125 by 100. If I multiply numerator and denominator by 100. Now quantity 1 is 125. Quantity 2 is 100. What is percentage change? We discussed percentage change equal to change in value by base value into 100. So the numerical difference is change in value, that is 25. And it decreases from quantity 1, which is 125. And to convert into percent, into 100. So 25 goes 5 times, 100 by 5 is 20%. This is one of the way to solve the question. But I don't recommend this method. This is just for the sake of understanding the situation. I'll tell you 4 to 5 methods, guys. You just please try to fix up which method to follow. At the end, I'll try to conclude one best method for you guys. Let us see one more thought process. I am trying to improve the thought process here. We know the same condition. Price into quantity is expenditure. Initially, the price we don't know how much percent of money you are spending. So let us say you are spending 100% money, and we don't know what quantity you are using. You may be using 5 kgs, 6 kgs, 10 kgs, right? That unknown quantity, let us consider it as 100%. Any unknown thing, we can take it as 100%, right? So that is what I am doing. So 100% into 100% is 10,000% is the total expenditure. But later, what happens to the price? The price increases by 25%. So now this price is increases by 25, which becomes 125. But when the price increases, we don't know what is the quantity. So let us say quantity is Q, but they want to maintain the same expenditure. Friends, initial expenditure is 10,000. Now it also 10,000. What is Q then? 10,000 by 125, that is 80. I mean 80% is the new expenditure. Friends, initial expenditure is 100. The new expenditure is 80. What is decrease in expenditure? 20% decrease. Same answer, right? Same answer. It totally depends on our thought process. So let us try to work out few more methodologies, few more thought process to work out the question. And friends, while discussing successive percentage changes, we discussed a concept. If there are two percentage changes of A% and B%, then we discussed net percentage change equal to, overall percentage change equal to, we discussed this now, A plus B plus AB by 100. So this is discussed in lesson 4, I believe. So this is a formula we discussed. With this also you can work out. So friends, if anything is increases, we'll keep plus symbol. If anything is decreases, that will keep minus symbol. If there is no change, we'll say 0. Now friends, here price is increases by 25%. Let us say the price is A. 25% is A. It increases, right? So keep it plus. But we don't know what happens to the consumption. Let us take that has to decrease obviously. So P is in terms of negative, and expenditure is same. The net change in the percentage is 0. So net change in the expenditure is 0. That is, this is A, this is B, this is A into B by 100. So 25 goes 4 times in this. If 25 come to this side, minus 25 equal to, so 4 into B, 4B plus B, 5B. So this is 5B by 4. So 5 goes 5 times. So B equal to minus 20%. So friends, minus 20 means negative. Negative means decrease. Decreases by how much percent? Decreases by 20%. You got the same answer. So it depends on our idea, guys. Our idea. Let's go for one more such very important model. And I finally suggest you to follow the last method. Then why I discussed the first 3 methods? I just thought to give the thought process of thinking in different perspectives, right? Okay, let's see. This is one unit model that can work out for any model, any kind of question in this price and expenditure model. So we know that expenditure equal to price into quantity. So expenditure is proportional to price into quantity. What do you mean by this proportionality symbol? If there is some change in the variables on the right side, the same change has to reflect on expenditure. If prices increases, expenditures has to increase. If the prices decreases, expenditure has to decrease. That is called directly proportional relation. So initially, we don't know what is expenditure. So let us say 100% is initial expenditure. But what happens to the price? Price increases by 25%. If this is increases by 25%, as they are directly relational, the expenditure also increases by 25%. So what is the new expenditure? 125%. But we don't know by what percentage the quantity, the consumption has to decrease, but they want to maintain the same expenditure. Initially, expenditure is 100. Finally, the expenditure should be 100%. There is no change in the expenditure. Whatever the expenditure is there, 100, they have to present at the end as well. Now, what is this percentage decrease? What is this percentage change? Simply change in value, 125 minus 125 by, from where it decreases, from 125 it decreases, and to convert into percent into 100. So 25 goes 5 times, 100 by 5, 20% decrease. So in this way, you can easily work out. So sometimes, they can increase the expenditure. Sometimes though, they decreases the consumption to the maximum ability, they may need to spend some extra expenditure. That we will see in the next question. Hope it is very clear. We discussed 1, 2, 3, 4 methods. There is one more model called constant product ratio. So let me discuss even that, guys. I want to make sure that you got the maximum information in this video. There is a small concept that I try to make in some other video, but as of now, try to see this. That is a constant product ratio. What do you mean by this? This plays a very crucial role in quantitative aptitude. If there is some increase in value, how much value must decrease to say there is no change in the value? Friends, if there is x by y increases, then it should decreases by x plus y. And then vice versa. And we already discussed in successive percentage changes. If there is 25% increase, that other should be decreases by, okay, let us see what about this, right? So 25% increases. So 25%. What is a fraction? 1 by 4 increases. If 1 by 4 increases, what must decrease? Decreases by 1 by x plus y, numerator plus denominator, 1 plus 4, 5. So 1 by 5 means 20%. Even that way also you can tell the answer very quickly. But this model doesn't work. This constant product ratio doesn't work if the family spends some extra expenditure. So that's the reason I gave least priority to this model. But sometimes if expenditure remains same, this is the best method. Constant product ratio is the best method. So I will make a separate video on constant product ratio in the next video, in the next lesson. So as of now, if there is x by y increase in value, x by x plus y decrease in value. Whatever the value increases in terms of percentage, it will be given, right? Convert into fraction. Better to say in terms of x by y form. If x by y increases, next it should decreases by x plus y. So 5 models we discussed, 5 varieties of ways of thinking we discussed, right? So now let us continue with this model, with this percentage increases and decreases model to solve the balance 7-8 questions, right? So I hope that you got clear idea of this question. We'll try to enhance our thought process by doing a couple more questions on this. Let's try to solve. Okay. Now it should be so quickly, friends. It should be very spontaneous. If the price of finance increases by 25%, then by what percent a householder has to decrease her consumption if she intends to increase 20% on her expenditure? Friends, we know this basic relation. What is that? Price into quantity equal to expenditure, right? So expenditure, say 100% expenditure is there, but price increases by 25%. So if the price increases by 25%, the expenditure is 125. Now, by what percentage they have to decrease the consumption? But if they need to spend 20% extra on the expenditure. Friends, initial expenditure is 100. Now they can spend 20% extra. What is 20% of 100? 20. 20 extra means now they can spend 120. What is this percentage change? 5 change from 125 to convert it to percentage into 100. So 5 goes 25 times in 125. 100 by 25 is 4% decrease. So simply you can say the answer is 0. Very simple, right? Very easy model. So let us try to continue. Yeah. The entry fee in examination was 10 rupees. Later the entry fee was reduced by 25%, which increases the sales by 20%. The percentage increase in the number of visitors is. So first of all, friends, whenever you have a situation, try to generalize the situation. So how do you get the sales? You'll get the sales by multiplying the amount per person, the entry fee with number of persons, right? How many persons came and how much person each pays. So the total sales generated is equal to entry fee into number of persons. Now we don't know the sales at the beginning. Let us say the sales are 100%. Now the price reduces by, the entry fee decreases by 25%. So the reduces by 25%. So guys, if entry fee decreases by 25%, the sales also decreases by 25%. The sales is 75% now. But somehow they got to make 20% extra sales. How is this situation possible? Somebody may ask. Yes, the situation may be possible. Only entry fee is decreasing. If I decrease the entry fee, more people, more visitors can come, right? So by increasing the number of sales. By increasing the number of visitors, he is able to make extra sales. So friends, now initially the sales are 100%. Now they can increase it by 20%. So the sales are 120% now. If this is a situation, what is the percentage increase in the number of visitors? How do you get the percentage increase in the number of visitors? Percentage increase means change in value by base value same. So what is increase in value? From 75 to 120, 45 increases. From where it increases? From 75 it increases. To convert into percent, into 100. So 15 3s are 15 4s are 420 is 100. So 320 is a 60% increase. So that means though there is 25% reduce in the entry fee, by increasing the number of visitors by 60%, they were able to make 20% extra sales. See how beautiful the concept is. It is so realistic, friends. So try to enjoy the subject so that you can make it much better in the exams. Let's see. Chatu's working hours per day were increases by 25%. Her wages per hour increases by 20%. By what percent of daily earnings increases? First of all, I told you, generalize the situation, try to get the relation. So you'll get a daily earnings. So earnings are equal to how many hours she worked and how much money they paid per hour. That is how they get the earnings, right? If I say I am working for 5 hours and they will pay 100 rupees per each hour. So what is the total earnings? 500, right? How do you get that? Number of hours into the amount per hour. Okay. Now, the working hours increases by 25%. So this is increases by 25%. And apart from that, her daily hour wages also increases by 20%. So even this also increases by 20%. If this is a situation, how does it affect on her earnings? How much more percent of earnings she will get? That is a question. So let us say the expenditure, the earnings are 100%. Now, number of hours increases by 25%. In fact, her earnings also increases by 25%. Her new earnings are 120. But wage per hour also increased by 20%, right? So which will affect on the earnings as well. What is 20% of 125? 10%, 12.5, 20% double 25. If 25 increases from 125, our new earnings are 150%. So initially 100, finally 150, the percentage increases totally 50%, and that is option C. So one unique method for all models, all questions in this. Let's see one more such question. If the price of an article increases by 15%, then by how much the household should decrease their consumption so as to keep the expenditure same? This is similar to first question. So we know that expenditure is 100. If the price increases by 15%, the expenditure also increases by 15%, 150. What is the percentage decrease in the consumption so as to make the same expenditure? The expenditure is 100. Finally, it should be 100. What is decrease in value? 50. Decreases from 150 to convert into percentage into 100. As simple as that. Now see here. So 5 goes 3 times. 5 goes 23 times. So this is 300 by 23. So 23 ones are 23. 7 remainder. 23 is a 69. 1 remainder. So 13 1 by 23% must be decreased in the consumption to maintain the same expenditure, and that is option 1. Very simple, right? Very easy. Now we will make small changes to the question, guys. So let us see this question. When the price is increases by 25%, the family reduces consumption such that the expenditure remains the same. If 40 kg of rice is consumed by the family before, then find the new consumption of the family. So guys, this is, we already discussed the half of the question. If there is 25% increase in the price, what must be decrease in the consumption? 20%, right? Okay, let us discuss that situation as well. So we know that expenditure equal to price into quantity. The expenditure is 100. Price increases by 25%. So expenditure is 125. What must be decreased in the consumption to maintain the same expenditure? So change in value is 25. Decreases from 125 to convert into percentage into 100. So 25 goes 5 times 100 by 5. 20% decrease in the consumption. So initially there is 40 kg consumption, right? Now from this 40 kg, 20% must decrease. So 20% of 40, 8 kg, right? If 8 kg decreases, the final consumption is 32 kg. and that is option 5. Right? Let's go for the next question. Okay, a little more change to this question. When the price of rice increases by 25%, a family reduces its consumption such that the expenditure is only 10% more than the before. If 40 kg of rice is consumed by the family before, then find the new consumption of the family. So friends, let us work out from the basic. So we know that expenditure is 100. Now price increases by 25%. So expenditure is 125. What must be percentage decrease in the consumption? But if they want to spend only 10% extra on the expenditure. So 10% of 110, 10 increases 110. So what is the percentage change in the consumption? 15 decreases from 125 to convert into percentage into 100. Right? Very, very simple. Now, so 5 goes 3 times, 5 goes 25 times, 25 goes 1 minute. No? So what is the thing here? Yeah. So 25 goes 4 times, 3 4s are, so 12% decrease in the consumption. So friends, what is initial consumption? Initially the consumption is 40 kg. Now this is reduces by 12%. So 10% is 4, 1% is 0.4, 2% is 0.8. So 4.8 decreases, right? So if 4.8 kg decreases, the final consumption is 35.2 kg, and the option is A. Very simple now. What is summary, guys? Here, the summary is very simple, guys. Initially, you get 100, 25 increase, 125. Percentage decrease in the consumption to have 110. So the percentage decreases 12%. Initially 40 kg, when it decreased by 12%, 35.2 kg. So let us try to work out one more such numerical so that we'll get perfect idea. So please don't solve 2 or 3 questions on each variety. Try to solve minimum 5 to 6 questions. That will give more idea, guys. Let us see. When the price of rice increases by 30%, a family reduces its consumption such that the expenditure is only 20% more than the before. If 50 kg of rice is consumed by the family before, then find the new consumption of the family. Same workout. So 100% is the expenditure. Now price increases by 30%. What is the new expenditure? 130. What must be percentage decrease in the consumption? Now the family intend to spend 20% extra on the expenditure. So 100 initially, 20% extra, 120 now. What must be percentage decrease in the consumption? So decrease is 10, and that happens from 130 to convert into percentage into 100. So 0 gets cancelled. So this is 100 by 13. So 13 7s are 91. 9 remainder 9 by 10, somewhere 7.5%. Approximately, he is asking. Nothing to worry, guys. Approximate value should be. Initially, the consumption is 50 kg, right? So on 50 kg, 7.5 kg must decrease. What is 7% of 50? Okay, 10% 5, 1% 0.5, 7% 3.5 kg, and 0.5 of 7 is somewhere 0.5. So totally somewhere 4 kg decreases. So that is 46 kg is the final consumption. Okay, even if you have any doubt in this calculations, 7.5, let us take up to 8%. What is 8% of 50 kg? 4 kg. Approximately 4 kg decreases. Final consumption is 46 kg, and that is option 4. Why are we going for this calculation? Because he's asking approximate value only. So friends, in this way, you can work out the questions very easily, very beautifully. So aptitude is that beautiful subject, that beautiful thought process it gives. So if you like the classes, you want to get more such updates, subscribe to Learn QV and Allah. Click on the bell icon to get all live notifications. So thank you so much for watching here and for being here. Wish you best wishes for all your competitive exams. Keep learning and keep inspiring.